your magical storyteller, and the title of today's story is Pappu the Giant. Kids, have you ever thought, if there are angels, so are there devils? But are all devils devil, as in dangerous? This will unfold in our today's story. So this story is about a 9-year-old giant called Pappu. He's very different from other giants. They love to fight, whereas Pappu hated fighting. While his classmates would spend their time twisting the ears of dinosaurs or yanking the tails of tigers, Pappu would be busy protecting his friends. Pappu's mother was worried about her son. One night, she woke up Pappu. "Son, you will never be happy staying in our tribe. I am taking you to a village where people are normal human beings. You will stay there with Raghav, the headman, or the Sarpanch." Just before they reached the village, Pappu's mother asked him to close his eyes. When he opened them, he almost fainted. He had shrunk to 1/10 his size, and so had she. Pappu's mother handed him over to Raghav and left. Pappu soon made friends with the boys and girls of the village. One day, Raghav came home very worried. "A ruthless bandit called Angar has blocked the only way out of our village. We cannot go to our farms to work and will surely starve," he said. Pappu wished he could help Raghav in some way. Suddenly, Pappu remembered something. Before leaving the forest, his mother had told him the magic words which would turn him into a giant once again. And as a giant, he would easily be able to take care of Angar. Pappu did everything he could, including standing on his head and pulling his own ears. But he couldn't remember those words. Then Pappu heard a soft lisp. Pappu bhaiya, play with me, please." It was his 2-year-old neighbor, Soni. Pappu was her best friend. He picked her up and threw her high in the air, and she started singing. Pappu bhaiya, throw me up, catch me quick. Pappu bhaiya, please show me your magic trick." Pappu froze. These words and the tune sounded very familiar. He rushed inside and came out with a blue stone in his hand. He now remembered what his mother had told him. "Son, throw the stone in the air and say these words. I will throw you up. I will catch you quick. Don't forget my magic trick." As Pappu threw the stone and recited the words, he felt himself swelling up like a balloon. Suddenly, he heard a sound. His clothes were tearing. If he didn't look for cover, he would soon be standing bang in the middle of the village in clothes 100 sizes too small for him. All he would have to cover his modesty would be strip of clothes and little else. Pappu rushed into the woods with a sound chasing him. One deep into the undergrowth, Pappu got down on his knees. It looked like he had missed a word or two in the magic chant his mother had made him learn. That is why his clothes had not grown along with his body. What was he to do now? Although he had become a giant, he couldn't venture out on his rescue mission on his birthday suit. He needed clothes urgently. But how was he to get clothes his size, and that too quickly? He heard a voice and looked down. It was Raghav. "Soni told me you had become big and that you had run away somewhere. When I heard this strange story, I came out to investigate. Using a magic trick my mother taught me, I have become a giant. Now I can take care of Angar and his gang," said Pappu. "That's great. Then what are you waiting for?" "My clothes didn't keep pace with my growth. I'm wearing almost nothing. How can I come out like this?" Raghav thought for some time and said, "Okay, give me some time. By nightfall, I will have your clothes ready." Raghav went back home and summoned all the tailors in the village. 21 tailors appeared in no time. Raghav explained the problem to them and said, "I want a pair of pajamas and a kurta to be stitched as soon as possible for Pappu." Soon, Operation Pappu Dress started. It was quite funny to see the tailors scrambling up Pappu's back, legs and hands to take his measurements. The whole village got into action, contributing whatever material they could. Even Soni donated her doll's shawl to the project. In 7 hours, the dress was ready. In 7 hours, with a whoop of joy, Pappu stood up, towering over the villagers. He looked really smart with the multicolored kurta and an equally multicolored pajama. There was thunderous applause. It was just past midnight. Angar and his men were fast asleep. Only 2 bandits were on guard. Suddenly, Angar woke up. He could hear a strange sound. He got up and, picking up his sword, rushed out of his tent. The other dacoits too were coming out of their enclosures, spears and swords in hand. Shh! There was the sound again. It seemed to be growing louder and closer. Shh! 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 Angar looked around. A dust storm seemed to be gathering momentum. Trees had started swaying and the noise was slowly becoming deafening. Shh! 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 Angar felt himself being picked up by the air current. He desperately tried to hold on, flailing his arms and legs, but it was no use. He was flying in the air. To his left was his deputy general looking like an ungainly dinosaur. To his right was his most accomplished swordsman, Talwar, airborne like his colleagues, desperately trying to reach out for his sword, which was flying ahead of him. A few minutes later, there was a splash. They landed in the river to the south of the village. As they swam to the shore, spluttering and shivering, a huge shadow loomed over their heads. "Angar, you scoundrel!" The shadow thundered, its voice echoing in the night. Yes, stammered the dreaded Angar. He had never been so terrified in his life. "This time, I have merely roughed you up. Next time, if you and any of your men come anywhere close to the village, I will rip each and every limb from your bodies and chew them up." Yes, Maharaj. We will never come up. We will never come again within 1,000 miles of this space. Good. Remember, if I hear you even passing through these parts, I will make a paste of you and your gang and feed it to the fish in this river. Yes, Maharaj. But please, do tell me, who are you? I have never seen you in these parts. I am a guardian of this village, Pappu said. He paused for a good 10 seconds, and then his deepest tone said, "And my name is Pappu, the giant." With these words, Pappu stormed back to the village. Angar and his men left the same night and were never heard of again. Pappu went back to his original shape and size. However, he couldn't get back his original name. No one called him Pappu anymore. To everyone, and even to Soni, he was Pappu the Giant.